was planning on filming this in my apartment, but the lighting is terrible. I recently ordered a new light. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. I wanted to film in the community room, but for whatever reason, my key fob isn't letting me in. So if you guys see me looking left, looking right, it's because I'm actually in the hallway of my apartment building filming, and I still get self-conscious when I have the camera out and people are like walking past. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a sit down, a catch up, me letting y'all know where I've been for the past 4 weeks. For those of you that are new here, my name is Kendra. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for 14 years. I also recently graduated from FNP school, so currently I am supposed to be studying to take boards. I have definitely been slacking on that. I've also been missing quite a bit on YouTube, only because I was actually trying to recover and trying to figure out what to do with my life and what to do with my time now that I'm finished nurse practitioner school. I spent 2 years at Bowie State University pursuing a family nurse practitioner postmaster's certificate. The reason for that is because I already have a master's of science in nursing with a concentration in nursing education. I taught for approximately 9 years, and teaching nursing students within the clinical setting is what really prompted me to start my YouTube channel. So that's just a little bit about me. Currently, I work full-time in the mental health, under the mental health umbrella. I work at an inpatient residential facility where I am a nurse for adolescents and adults seeking treatment for anxiety, depression, and also eating disorders. That has been very interesting. I've been doing that for the past almost 14 months. I also work PRN still in a hospital. I used to work in the ICU. I worked in the ICU for almost 9 years, but then I got burnt out, I got tired, and I switched to med-surg, where I pick up just 1, maybe 2 shifts a week if there is a bonus. I'll do that. And now that I'm finished nurse practitioner school, I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing with this nurse practitioner degree. I've been missing in action for the past 4 weeks. Trust and believe that I have been reading your comments. I've been trying to respond, but I've also been busy working. I have been picking up shifts left and right. You guys know I spent 2 years, like I said, in nurse practitioner school. So your girl was low on the funds, okay? I paid my tuition cash, so the funds is running low. So every opportunity there is to pick up a shift, especially if it's a bonus shift, I've been doing that. But I was thinking recently, like, you need to get yourself together and start filming content, or else you're going to lose touch with your audience. You're going to lose your community, and I cannot afford to lose you guys. You all mean everything to me. Since taking a break, I came across the video. One of you alerted me that a very large YouTuber creator, Dr. Kevin Jabal, he actually did a commentary on one of my videos. That video now currently has approximately 84,000 views, and I was really shocked. Like, when I got the notification, I was like, oh my goodness, somebody actually did, like, a large creator, a physician, used my content to create content for his channel. That video brought me in quite a bit of views. It also brought me some new followers, so thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you all for signing on to listen to what I have to say about the state of nursing. You guys know that I always have something to say, because I have a lot to say when it comes to nursing, because I live it. Like I said, I still pick up shifts in the hospital, 1 to 2 shifts a week. I don't think I will ever move away from the bedside permanently. I think no matter what, I will always want to be current in practice of how to take care of a patient that's sick, laying in the bed. So even though I might be the owner of my own company, I still see myself picking up 1 to 2 shifts a month just to keep my practice current, and just so I can give you information, produce content that's actually relevant and actually my lived experience. Anyway, since my channel have grown, I realized that I never really did a formal introduction video to let you all know exactly who I am. I don't think I've ever spoken much about my nursing journey, so I decided that this is my return video, so allow me to reintroduce myself. I told you all a little bit earlier, I've been a registered nurse for 14 years. I have experience in a variety of different nursing areas, including med-surg, step down telemetry, IMC. I've done home care, I've done management in home care. I have done teaching in academia, in the classroom, and in the clinical setting. And like I told you all, I just finished nurse practitioner school. As far as my nursing journey goes, let's just say that I am not one of those people who always wanted to be a nurse. Like, I've met so many people, and even nursing students, when I ask them, why nursing? A lot of them will respond and say, I've always wanted to be a nurse. Oh, my grandmother was a nurse. My mom was a nurse. Or some people will have stories about them being sick as a child and a nurse taking care of them. For me, it wasn't any of that. I had no clue what nurses did. So it wasn't until when I graduated high school, I went to John Dewey High School in Brooklyn, New York. When I graduated high school, initially I enrolled in community college to study broadcast journalism. How ironic, right? My mom would say to me, she was like, yeah, I want for you to be on the news. She's like, when I turn the news on, when I turn my TV on at 6 p.m. in the evening, I want to see your face plastered across the TV. However, that didn't come to fruition because your girl got pregnant when she was like 21. I got pregnant with my first daughter at age 21, and then my mom says, well, we have to scrap those broadcast journalism plans and you're going to go to nursing school. Hold on. But anyway, I was like, nursing school? She was like, yeah, you're going to be a nurse. And I was like, why? She said, well, you're going to have a child, and I need to know that you're going to be able to take care of yourself and take care of this child, okay, no matter what. With a nursing degree, a nursing license, you will always be able to get a job. She said, even if you exhaust all of the jobs in one state, you can always move to another state and get a job. So that is how I ended up being a nurse. My mom told me I was going to go to nursing school. I was thinking to myself, like, girl, what are you talking about? Because first of all, I don't even know what nurses do. Like, I don't even know what they do. So in order to help with that, I decided to enroll in a CNA course, Certified Nursing Assistant. I took a CNA course, and that was going to be my entryway into working in a hospital and seeing exactly and getting an understanding of what nurses did on a day-to-day basis. So I did the CNA course. I got a job eventually in a hospital working on a med-surg unit. Funny enough, that is the same med-surg unit I work on PRN now. So I've essentially been in that hospital system for approximately 18 years. So I got a job as a nursing assistant, and I'll never forget my first day going on the floor. First of all, I didn't even understand what was going on because it was change of shift, and there was like people coming, people going. There were like all these Asian people, and at the time, I didn't know anything about Filipino nurses. So I was just like, who are all these Asian people coming and going? Like, what is this exchange of report? Nobody was explaining anything to me. So to say the least, I was lost, and I was like, I don't know about this. This lady talking about I gotta go to nursing school because I got a kid, so I guess let me be patient. At the time though, I was working at Starbucks. I was a barista. Yes, I worked at Starbucks for approximately 4 years. Even while I was taking prerequisites for nursing, I was working at Starbucks. So I was there and I was just like, well, I guess I gotta stick this out. And the very first time I walked down the hallway, it was the ventilator hallway, I looked to my left, and there was a patient on a ventilator. I looked at the bottom of the bed, and there was a bag with urine and a bag with stool. I said, oh, hell no. I was like, she trying to get me jammed up, like my mother really trying to set me up. When it was time for us to take break, I grabbed my bag and I was out of there. I left because I was like, there is no way. If this is what nurses have to deal with, there is no way I am working here. After leaving, the manager called me the next day and was like, oh, what happened? You know, I heard that you left. And I just told her, I was like, girl, I was overwhelmed. Like, the things that I was seeing, plus your staff wasn't kind at all, okay? The staff, the CNAs that she put to train me was being very rude. And I was just like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm gonna just go back to Starbucks and make my caramel macchiatos and white mochas. But the manager, she said, you know what, come back and try again. Maybe it was because you started on a Sunday and things were kind of off, but come back. So I ended up going back, and I actually worked as a CNA all the way through nursing school. And that same unit, that is where my first nursing job was. I first started off in community college to take all of my prerequisites. I'm a huge advocate for starting off in community colleges, especially these days with inflation and the cost of everything going up. Unless you know for sure, or unless you are a stellar student, academic, like high academic achiever who can get scholarships and things like that, I am an advocate for community college. And I was always an average student. In retrospect, I think that I could have done better if I had applied myself more, but I wasn't worried about that at the time. I grew up in Brooklyn, went to high school in Brooklyn. I was all about the fashion, the clothes, the music, hanging out with my friends. So being a scholar was never my thing, even though I do think now I had the abilities to do much better academically when I was in high school. I went to CCBC, which is the Community College of Baltimore County, and I don't regret it one bit. If you are watching this right now and you are interested in pursuing a career in nursing, or any career for that matter, I say start off in the community college, because the classes are smaller, the professors are accessible, it's cheaper, and you guys see the prices of everything these days. Inflation is through the roof. So community colleges are your best bet. They get a lot of grants, they get a lot of funding, so you might even be able to get your tuition covered depending on your situation. For me, because I had a child, when I filled out my financial aid, I didn't pay anything out of pocket for my classes in community college. They even covered my books, okay? So community college is the way to go. I also figured out that some of the professors that teach in the community college setting, they're also professors at like the larger universities. So why pay all that money to go to a larger university when you can go to a community college, have the same professor that's teaching over there, giving you the same content in a smaller setting where he or she can focus in on you, rather than you sitting in a big lecture hall with tons of students and the professor might not even know who you are. That's just my take. Leave me a comment if you agree with me. So I took all of my prerequisites at the community college, including my sciences. Now let's talk about the sciences. I had to take biology, anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, microbiology, and this is the one thing I don't like about nursing education. It's because every single school requires something different. You have some schools that's going to want an organic chemistry or inorganic or general chemistry. I ended up taking general chemistry at Baltimore City Community College. The reason for that is because if I took chemistry at CCBC, where I was a full-time student, they wanted me to take a prerequisite before I could even get to general chemistry. The other community college was like, no, you could come straight to general chemistry. So when you're deciding to go to nursing school, you kind of have to look at everything and try to pick the best option. It's almost like finessing the system so that way you don't get finessed. I ended up taking general chemistry. The worst ever in my life. I still to this day, I sit and I wonder what was going on in general chemistry. Like, I still don't know what happened, and I ended up getting a C in general chemistry. Getting a C in your sciences is not a positive thing at all, and the reason for that is because you have other students who are brilliant academically in math and in science and will get all A's. So when it comes to the competitive requirements required to enter into a nursing program, that C in general chemistry did me real dirty, I can tell you that. In my other sciences, I had all B's. Didn't get any A's, wasn't aiming for A's, I just wanted B's. In my humanities courses, my math courses, B's and A's. I do pretty well in like the arts, history, writing, communication, English. Y'all know your girl can talk, so no issues with that. But the sciences, girl, the sciences did me in. And the thing is, when you're taking your sciences for nursing school, you are in class with so many competitive people. The reason for that is because slots in these schools for the nursing program is very limited. You might have 30 spots or 25 spots, but you got like 250 applicants vying for a spot. So your grades have to be really competitive. Do not let anything deter you though. Do not let other people will say to you things like, oh, nursing is so hard, the classes are hard, you have to get all A's or whatever the case is. Do not let people deter you. If nursing is where you want to be, if that is the career of your choice, focus on the sciences. Make sure that you get at least a B in your sciences. It's so competitive though, sometimes you might have to end up retaking sciences if you're not on the journey to getting a B. I will say that. I've seen people drop classes midway because they're like, I'm going to get a C in this class and it's not going to really do me any good when I apply. So those are just things to keep in mind. That's just the reality of it. How I got through my sciences was that aside from having good professors, I also had good friends. Like, I made friends in my classes, and we were able to study together, share notes, and that's one of the things that brought me through. Having people you can depend on. And oftentimes in those settings, you will find people who are so competitive, they don't even want to share information. Like, girl, you had these notes from your friend who took the class last semester and you wasn't trying to let us know about it. But anyway, find people who are on the same trajectory as you, people who have the same mindset, people who are open to studying and sharing information. That helps a lot. Other thing, when you're taking your prerequisites and you're around other students who is also pursuing a career in nursing, there is always all this chitter chatter, who's applying for what school, who heard this. Like, there's so much stuff that you'll hear, so much little like information, little gossip, little like, oh, well, I heard the school isn't good. Like, the biggest piece of advice I can give to anybody pursuing nursing school is try to tune out a lot of the negativity. Don't take everybody's word for gospel, because people just always have something to say. When it was time to apply for nursing school, I applied for the community college. I didn't get in because it is very competitive. They usually get a lot of applicants, and because it is cheaper and you are done in 2 years, people tend to go for that, right? So I didn't get into that. I also applied to 2 other universities. Now remember, I took general chemistry, which is a requirement to go to a bachelor's program. And as a matter of fact, some of them even want you have like inorganic biochemistry. Like, what? First of all, who is taking all of that? Not me. The only chemistry y'all was gonna get me to take was general chemistry. And like I said, I struggled through that. I had no clue what was going on. Still don't know what was going on. Balancing an equation, don't ask me nothing about it, okay? So I received a letter, I remembered, from the University of Maryland. And the letter basically told me that I had been waitlisted and they wanted me to retake the general chemistry because I had a C in it. And I was like, damn, I didn't get into University of Maryland. That was considered like the top school. Everybody was talking about Maryland, Maryland, Maryland. They put me on the wait list, child, because your girl had a C. A week later, I got an acceptance letter from Coppin State University. University of Maryland, y'all don't ever have to worry about seeing me, because guess who is not taking over that chemistry? Me. So I accepted my slot at Coppin State University, and that is where I attended nursing school. So a big piece of advice is that don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes down to applying to nursing school. One of the biggest things that you'll have to do is look at all of your local community colleges. Look at your local bachelor's of nursing program. Look and see what the requirements are for the prerequisites. See what they have in common, so that way when you apply, you're applying to just more than one school. I don't know what the competition is like these days. I hear different things. I think since COVID, I've heard that enrollment into nursing programs have dropped. I don't know how true that is, because I'm no longer in academia. I took a break from teaching, even though I am kind of getting the itch to go back. So I might this fall apply to teach maybe at a local university. I don't know yet, but I do kind of miss it. Yeah, I'm hearing that it's not as competitive as it used to be, but then on the flip side, I'm hearing people say that because the economy sucks and because inflation has gone through the roof, a lot of people are going to nursing school, or even when they have like other careers such as law, I don't know, just other careers, people are coming back and like re-enrolling into nursing school, because nurses will always be needed. They will always be needed. You start off at a decent salary, and then you have the ability to work, to do shift work, which will earn you a lot more money. So that's what I'm hearing. But I attended Coppin State University. It is an HBCU, historically black college and university, located here in Baltimore, Maryland. And whenever I tell people about my experience in nursing school, everyone thinks I'm exaggerating. When I tell y'all I had a blast in nursing school for me was challenging, but it was a challenge well received. I think there's something about the culture of the nursing school that you go to. Don't get me wrong now, nursing in general, like nursing academia, can be very toxic, because I'll never forget, in my orientation for nursing school, I remember them telling us, look to our left, well, look to our left, look to our right. The person sitting next to you will not be graduating with you, or will not make it all the way to the end with you. So the toxicity that we talk about a lot in nursing starts off in academia, but I had a great time in nursing school. I made a lot of good friends, some of whom I'm still friends with today. And even if we're not close, whenever I see them, even on social media, it's always like, you know, like we vibe, you know, we're here. That's how it is with a lot of my like nursing school friends and colleagues. Some of them have become my colleagues because I do also have a master's in nursing education. I said that earlier. The reason why I obtained that degree is because once I sat in my fundamentals of nursing class, I had a professor, her name is Professor Belgrave. The way that she eloquently lectured, the way that this lady did not even have to read word for word of the PowerPoint, the way that she knew her content off the top of her head and the way that she presented it, I was so impressed. It's like something spoke to me. You know how they be like, oh, being a teacher is a calling? Like I had that epiphany. I had that aha moment when I said, I think I want to be a nursing professor. And she is the reason why I pursued a degree in nursing education. Like I stated earlier, I taught for 9 years in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in the clinical setting. I got burnt out because I was teaching every single semester, back to back to back to back. And what a lot of people don't realize about being a clinical instructor is that the nursing student comes to clinical with all of this theory and information that they have gotten in lecture and what they've studied and what they've read, but then they have to make the clinical connection, and it doesn't always click. It doesn't always make sense because of course we know clinical is going to be different than what you learn in theory. So doing it back to back every single semester got me burnt out, but like I said, I miss it. I think I might return. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my story. I will be back with more vlogs, more content. Leave me some comments as to what kind of content you want to see. I know I've been away for a while, but your girl is back. All right, see you guys in another video.